Boulder's top stories this week. City Council considers the next steps in keeping FasTracks moving. The city holds a public meeting on bag use in Boulder. And the Tulip Fairy and Elf Parade helps bring Pearl Street into full bloom.
Welcome to Inside Boulder, featuring topics and stories that impact the community of Boulder, with Patrick Von Kaiserling and Jennifer Bray. And on the news desk, Natalie Wood and Mike Benuelos bring you the stories making headlines in the community this week. Inside Boulder News starts now.
Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Natalie Wood. In 2004, voters approved a 0.4 sales tax increase to provide a regional mass transit system through a program called FasTracks. That system was supposed to deliver bus rapid transit, light rail, and commuter rail throughout the Denver metro area, including bus rapid transit to US 36 and Northwest Community Rail all the way to Longmont. However, since 2004, costs have increased more than anticipated and revenues have come in under projection, resulting in RTD not being able to deliver FasTracks in the time frame it was promised. The RTD board has been working regionally and out in the community to come up with a solution. One possible solution is to add another 0.4 sales tax increase. If approved by the RTD Board of Directors, this option could be on the ballot as early as this coming November. Inside Boulder News spoke to Transportation Director Tracy Winfrey about this option, as well as the new idea for a hybrid option that could provide for bus rapid transit from Longmont to Boulder to Denver in earlier years, while the Northwest Commuter Rail FasTracks project is on a longer timeline.
The hybrid option looks at the Northwest Corridor, and it would deliver bus rapid transit-like service earlier in the time frame. If a vote is approved in 2012, that we would have full BRT implementation for the entire Northwest Corridor along US 36 and up the diagonal to Longmont, so including Longmont. And it would include station investments, it would include service investments, not only along US 36, but 287, Foothills, Highway 7. So a number of different corridors would receive bus rapid transit-like service in the near term, and still over the longer term, perhaps out to 2030, the commuter rail would be incrementally expanded north from Westminster to Church Ranch, and then up to Broomfield, and then to Louisville. But again, that wouldn't be until perhaps the early 2030s that commuter rail would come into place.
RTD is moving full speed ahead with a different project that will shave minutes off RTD bus trips. Construction of a new Table Mesa Drive slip ramp and pedestrian bridge will begin in the next month at the South Boulder Park and Ride location. The $7 million project will create a bridge that spans US 36 just east of the current Table Mesa Bridge. The project, funded by earmarked state and federal funds, will allow buses coming off 28th Street or Table Mesa to use the ramp to get onto 36 East instead of deviating into the Park and Ride facility. Construction of the bridge is expected to have minimal negative effects on traffic because the bridge will have a clear span over the highway, connecting the existing Park and Ride to the planned bus stop on the Denver-bound side of US 36. The Table Mesa pedestrian bridge is slated for completion in March 2013. If you're not already bringing reusable bags with you to the grocery store, you might need to start soon. The city's local environmental action division is evaluating a variety of options for reducing disposable plastic and paper bag use in Boulder. Spurred by community concerns, City Council requested that staff develop potential options to reduce the use of disposable checkout bags in the city. Those options include the potential for bag bans, bag fees, or a combination of both. Inside Boulder News spoke to Jamie Harkins of the Local Environmental Action Division about bag use in Boulder and how the community can provide feedback.
This is a really great issue to work on because it touches everyone literally. Everyone is involved in shopping and making purchases. And so we would really love to hear from everyone because it does affect so many folks of what kind of option they would like to see in town. So hopefully we'll come up with something that works for everyone. We don't know yet if it will be a ban or a fee. Basically, council asked us to come back with some options. And so on May 15th, we'll be going to talk to them about, 5 different options, ranging everywhere from some sort of ban to no action at all. So really, we're still in the very preliminary stages of looking at it. It's actually a kind of policy that's moving really fast across the country. We're certainly not the first to look at it, but I do think that whatever we come up with here in Boulder will, help to serve as a model for other communities. And, I've received some emails from surrounding areas that other folks are starting to look at it too. And so I really think that it's an opportunity to come up with something that works for our community, and then hopefully it's something that other folks can take on as well.
The city would like your feedback on bag use in Boulder. A public meeting will be taking place on April 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the West Boulder Senior Center. You can also take the Bag Use in Boulder survey by visiting the city's website. April is Alcohol Awareness Month, and the City of Boulder is working with the University of Colorado and the community to encourage residents to make safe and healthy choices when it comes to alcohol. As a college town, Boulder has a high population of students and therefore a large number of people under the age of 21. Here's what CU is doing in conjunction with the City of Boulder, Boulder Valley Public Schools, and Boulder County Public Health to address underage drinking prevention and other alcohol abuse issues.
Over the past 2 years or so, there's been a concerted effort between those same stakeholders plus other key stakeholders in the community, like parents and hospitality industry owners, bars and restaurants, and landlords coming together to talk about issues from a public health approach, which sometimes is referred to as a social ecological model. So basically looking at the whole community culture and recognize that people are influenced by their environment, from their peers all the way to the policy level. So the group's been talking about what are ways that the community can positively impact the culture from all those levels. So that's been really the most concerted effort the past few years, and it just stems from peer-to-peer outreach all the way to policy efforts. So there's a huge range of efforts we've been working on. We know that this is going to be a long-term effort because it's about culture change, and culture change, as people say, takes generations. It doesn't take weeks or months.
A couple specific efforts are taking place at CU this month. The CU Counseling and Psychological Services Department provided free drug and alcohol screening at the UMC, where students were able to meet with a professional counselor to talk about their alcohol use and get advice. Also on April 28th, CU will be taking part in the National Prescription Drug Take-Back effort, where people can drop off their unneeded medication to be disposed of safely with no questions asked. April 1st was the start of the nesting period for area species like the northern harrier and burrowing owl, and the Boulder Aeromodeling Society worked with the Parks and Recreation Department to make sure flights don't disturb nesting activity. Together, the departments have developed an annual modified flight use agreement for the Boulder Aeromodeling Society field located northwest of the Boulder Reservoir. The agreement provides for flying activity while minimizing potential disturbance to wildlife. This year's agreement reduces hours of operation, limits flight zones, and works to educate pilots about species in the area. Extra protocols were put into place this year because there has been a general decline of certain species in the area during the past several years. The public is reminded that while the Boulder Aeromodeling Society field is open for modified flight use, the seasonal wildlife closure remains in effect until further notice. Downtown Boulder is celebrating the return of spring colors with the annual Tulip Fairy and Elf Parade along the Pearl Street Mall. The popular family event that features flowers, music, and fairies is taking place on April 28th at 3 p.m. The Tulip Fairy and Elf Parade celebrates the waking of the 15,000 tulips planted along the mall. It's a springtime celebration that many residents look forward to every year.
As far as the tradition goes, it really brings our town together. It's like a community effort. We've already been sleeping in slumber city of being in winter. So when we start seeing the skies turn more blue and the flowers are starting to come out and bud, people are more apt to come out. And what a wonderful place like Pearl Street Mall to embrace this wonderful activity.
The event begins on the 1300 block, and this year we're going to start the event with some live performances and entertainment. And then a parade will begin led by our Tulip Fairy, and it's about a block but it loops around, and so it's only just a parade. Mostly it's an opportunity for families and to come out and enjoy beautiful springtime here on the Pearl Street Mall.
After the parade, kids can also take part in the Waking of the Bear performance by Open Space and Mountain Parks. Visit boulderdowntown.com for more information. That's all the time we have for this week. You can connect with Inside Boulder News on Facebook by submitting news tips and questions. Just search for City of Boulder Channel 8. I'm Natalie Wood. Thanks for watching and stick around for more Inside Boulder next.